Okay, let's yeah, so I think I'll start. Okay, so first of all, thank you for coming today. It'll be actually our first masterclass on this business conversation group. So of course it may not be the best because of the technical difficulties, but I hope you find today's call helpful. And yeah, so today we're gonna go over how to run a client call, and if we have time, we'll go over a role play. So hopefully there's more people joining in. Okay, so for those who don't know me that much, my name is Dointa, and I'll be your facilitator for this membership. And I'm also the first person you should contact if you have any questions or suggestions or etc. And I'm also the founder and lead designer at Kasi Design. It's currently I changed the business name around again. So my new business name is Webstitious. But yeah, hopefully I don't change my business name for the next 5 years. But so I'm brand and website designer, and I'm also a UNC student and a regular volunteer too. Yeah, so that's a bit about me, and let's go dive into this session. Okay, so first, I'm gonna go over just discuss about what a client meeting is, and then go over like how to structure your client meetings, and then what you should do like during, before, or after the client call. And then later, there'll be some time to ask questions, and then we can go straight into the role play. Okay, so just to quickly inform you, so the introduction and client call, like this part, that that part is gonna be like a webinar, so it's me talking. Towards the end, that's when everyone can like, I'll stop sharing my screen, and we can actually have a proper like a video call conversation. Okay, so a client call is simply just a meeting with a potential client. So it's usually via a call or in person. Obviously, in person, you probably won't happen for the next few months. But yeah, so it's usually via call. So the whole purpose of a client meeting is to like have a conversation with the prospect and to see if you are a ideal fit to their project. So it's more like a qualification call to see if you can actually help them, and also to learn about their business and see what they need. So a client meeting is also known as an introductory call, a consultation, a value call, a discovery call, etc. So it's many words based on the industry. But personally, I call my consultations a value call because although it's technically a sales call, I try my best to provide value in those calls, so that even if they don't work with me, they get something out of it. Yeah, so that's technically what a client call is. Okay, so when I do client meetings, this is usually the structure. So the first 5 to 10 minutes, I do an icebreaker or some sort of small talk. So that could be like, how's the weather? How are you? How's the situation in your country? Like all these very basic questions. Like it's technically how you would like so this obviously this client, like the prospect, they are a stranger. So it's good to obviously introduce each other, and trying to make them feel comfortable. Because when you ask personal questions, they feel more comfortable and more welcome. And yeah, so that usually really helps. So it's very important you don't skip this, because so when a client is like a prospect is comfortable, they're more likely to open up and tell you what they need. Yeah. So that's the first 5 to 10 minutes. So after that, there is the discussion. So this is the main part of the call. This is where you figure out, okay, what does the client need, what kind of business they run, and also providing them relevant advice. Yeah. So so this is oh sorry, phone. Okay, sorry. People message me right now. But anyway, um yeah, so the discussion part, that's like the main, that's the biggest part of the call that is very important. So it's very important that you focus on that. And like, so obviously discussion, you literally discussing with your clients, like figure out what kind of business they do, what they need, and ask what like, and also give like valuable advice, etc. Yeah, so that's the discussion. So after that, before the call is finished, Normally I would ask, okay, do you have any last questions, etc., and they would normally say no, and then that's the end of the call. Yeah. So that's totally how I would run a client meeting. That's what I've been doing. Like I had a client meeting, I think, I'm not sure if it was yesterday or I can't remember when it was. But yeah, this is usually the structure follow. And of course, it will change based on the client. Some clients are easy to manage, some clients are not. Some clients can go over 1 hour. Like it really depends. But the more calls you do, the faster it becomes. So when I started, I think I my calls were like 1 hour plus, but now it's like it's getting shorter. Yeah. So obviously, it'll be good to have each client meeting under 1 hour, like at least 45 minutes, like, or under 45 minutes. Yeah, if you go over that, you're wasting a bit of time, and it's not really necessary. So it's very important that you go straight to the point, and you have to make sure that you don't like in the past. I made the icebreaker kind of like, I don't know, 20 minutes, and then there's like, I don't know, 20 minutes left of the call where we haven't even really discussed about the project. So you don't want to do that. Yeah. So that's the structure of a usual client meeting. And let's move on to next. Okay. So these are the things you should do before the call. Okay. So I mean, everyone's of course, people in this call who are live now, everyone's business is different. So it really depends on the industry. But normally, so before you start the call, you have to figure out, like, why are they contacting you? Like, why did they schedule the call? Is it to learn more about your services? Is it to just get free advice? Like, what is the purpose? And based on that, you need to structure the call based on that. So, for example, if they want to inquire about your website design services or something, make sure the the call is structured based on that. Like, for example, you have icebreaker, then you go straight into the inquiry, like ask them what kind of website they're looking for, etc. Yeah, so make it more tailored um to what the client wants. Yeah. So make sure you figure out the purpose before the call. And then so after that, of course, prepare an agenda. So just like this today's call, like I have a plan of what I'm going to discuss in this call. So it's very important to have that. Create a roadmap. Like you don't need to follow it like strictly, just to like just a rough plan so you know what to do in each call. You don't want it to be too scripted, or else it's just going to be too robotic and just too like just too like salesy or just not genuine. So make sure like you know what to talk about, but don't make it too scripted. Yeah. Okay. So another thing you should do is obviously research about the client. You should not go to a call without knowing anything about the client. Like make sure, like, just simply go to their website if they have any, and just see what kind of business they run, what kind of clients. Like just have a good like backup check of the business, so that and also it's very important because you want to make sure that you show the client that you're actually interested in business, and if you know the business well, that really shows that they're interested in like you are interested in their business. Yeah. So it's important that you learn about the client too, like before the call. And fourthly, if that's the word, but anyway, so you have to make sure you be on time. Like make sure you on the like. So if you at like, if the call is scheduled at 8 p.m., make sure you at 8 p.m. Like, don't come late. That's just a bad impression. um, I think there's a time where there's a client that scheduled a call at 5 a.m. for me. I canceled the call because I just couldn't, like, I don't know why with 5 a.m. Calls, I just can't sleep that night. So I ended up canceling it, and then I technically lost the lead because I was just too lazy to wake up at the time. So make sure you like, so in your calendar or your booking system, make sure it's times that you can actually turn up. make sure you actually commit to it, because that's very important. And no one like it also like leaves a bad impression if you late to a meeting. And besides, they want to give you money, like you shouldn't be late when they're trying to give you money, right? So it makes no sense. Yeah, so make sure you turn up early. Yeah. Yeah, so I use Calendly. It's a free booking service, so you should definitely check that out. Yeah. Okay, so before the call, you should also like, so if you're on Facebook, send them saying, "Oh, I'll see you in 5 minutes." Just keep on reminding them. Well, not like, or like 4 minutes, then 3 minutes. Like that's not how you should do it. Just so what I would do is in the morning I'll say, "Oh, I'll see you at 2 p.m." And then I don't know, 10 minutes before the call, I send them any details like the Zoom link, etc. Yeah, so you don't want to be too spammy. Yeah. So that's for yeah, so make sure you be on time and send them a confirmation email or message. And then lastly, before you take the call, it's very important to have a good environment. So like, to be honest, it was pretty crazy for me the past week. Um like when I was in a call, my mom was knocking on the door. Like I told her that I'm on the call, but she kept on knocking. Like she really, literally doesn't care. So it's very important that you inform your whole family that you have an important call. And besides, the call I had, it was like a 1K client, like clearly like a high ticket client. I don't, like that is really bad impression if your mom's talking like outside or knocking the door. Like it's not professional. So make sure you tell your family that you have important calls, and also make sure on your door write like a door sign to say I'm in a call, simple like that. So yeah, I mean, I've experienced a lot of issues at home, but yeah, so it's all about preparation, like literally informing them that you have an important call. Yeah, so oh, bless you. No, no, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, and also make sure you close the window too, because sometimes you can hear like car sounds. So try your best to make the environment quiet and clean, and also make sure you have a like clean background, not too like you do not want to show your closet where there's like clothes hanging out. You don't want to show that. So make sure your background's clean and professional. Yeah, so that's what you should do before the call. And of course, there's many more, but this is a handful. Okay, so this is what you should do during the call. So like personally, like um each sales call I have, I treat people like human, like have a like a genuine conversation with them. Like don't like be a robot and have no emotion. Like try to relate to them, build rapport, and use humor where relevant. Like if they can laugh, that can really make them feel more comfortable. But you don't, of course you don't, there's obviously a limit. Like just try to be very genuine, just be yourself, and they'll like you more when you're more of a human. Yeah. And secondly, you should let your client talk. um don't talk too much. Like because like in this call, you try to figure out what they need, so it would be good if they do the talking more than you. So you are there just to ask questions. And yeah, so just allow them to open up really. And then while they're opening up, just give them valuable advice simply. Like even even if you know that they're not going to be an ideal like client, just help them anyway, because people really remember people who help them. And in fact, someone who there's a prospect that I had a consultation with, and I helped him, gave him like good advice, even if he wasn't going to be a client. And then he later referred me to someone who needs a website. So um, obviously, like treat every prospect like as a friend, and they will definitely return the favor for you. Yeah. And of course, track your time. Make sure you are on schedule, because like I said before, when you have an agenda, make sure you figure out, okay, how much is the icebreaker going to take? 10 minutes, discussion 25 minutes. Like, make sure you keep track of the time. Don't go over the limit, of course. Yeah. And of course, follow the agenda. Yeah. So that's during the call. Okay. So after the call, so, okay. So after the Zoom call, for example, you turn off Zoom, and then it'll be good, instead of just message them straight away, just wait a couple of minutes or maybe an hour and send them a message or email saying, "Oh, thank you for your time. It was nice talking to you," and provide them any details or call notes. That's what I usually do. And like, for example, the previous client call I had, um she needed, like, I was just talking to her random stuff about her business, and then she said that her email signature needs to be fixed. And then I said, "Oh, okay, no, no worries. I know a free generator that you can use online to create a free email signature. I can send you a link after the call." And she said, "Yeah, that'd be great, thank you." And then, so after the call, I sent her that. Yeah. So, like, try to come across as someone who's gonna like help the client. Like, always, of course, be genuine. Don't obviously do it for bad intentions, but um, just genuinely try to help these people out. Yeah. And like, they of course return the favor. Yeah. So provide any resources or call notes after the call. Yeah. And so, after that message, just wait for me. Like, wait at least a week. Like, you don't want to be messaging him a lot, because that just, you just come across as desperate. Like, I think prospect probably last year maybe, I was messaging them like very regularly, and they would keep on ghosting me because I was just being too weird. So, don't come across as desperate, because no one really likes that kind of desperate person. Like, imagine if you're in like a social setting where this person says, "Oh, can I be your friend?" Like, keep on asking you that. Like, no one likes that kind of person, right? So, for your like prospects, you shouldn't do the same thing. Yeah. So, just say, "Okay, this is the way you can work with me. If not, no worries," and then leave it and just move on to the next prospect. Like, you shouldn't focus on one client too much, because like, that's what I did. And it's not good, because what if they say no, and then you have to find another client. Um like, business really is a numbers game. Like, you have to, like, you can't just focus on all getting like one call booked for 1 week. You have to at least have 10, like, for example, five at least. So you have at least like one in, like, at least one of those five could be a potential client. Like, you have to keep on, you can't depend on one person. You have to keep on like prospecting, and yeah. So that's how you get consistent clients. Yeah, you can't just look for one client 1 week and not look for one next week. It has to be very consistent. Yeah. So don't focus on one client too much. Just move on to the next one. Yeah. And that's something I actually try my best to do this year, because sometimes I get emotionally attached to some clients because I know that I can really help them. But then the reality is they may not work with you. Like, yeah. So that's something you should definitely do. Okay. So moving on. Okay, so yeah, so we've kind of covered that. Does anyone have